No one needs to know if I'm a crypt or a blood.
Not a crypt? A crypt?
I did say crypt. That's true.
I am the Crypt Keeper. Welcome back to the Jack of the Shadows podcast, season 2, episode 24.
Hey, you got it right the first time.
I got it right the first time.
Your hands went down.
I'm Eric VC, and as always, I'm joined by my favorite Itchy and Scratchy, Adam and Dave. Say hello, Adam.
I'm not sure which is worse.
Say hello, Dave.
I'm going to be Scratchy. Hello, says Dave.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah.
I do not know which is which.
I don't either. I don't remember which is the mouse and which is the cat.
Well, that's sad for you. You're the one that labeled it.
I wasn't even thinking of that. I was literally thinking of my eczema. So, you know.
In that case, you're both.
Tis the season. So, you know.
That is a bad decision.
Together, we are the VC boys. And for this episode, we read the prologue of Winter's Heart. Prologue. Winter's Heart was published in November of 2000 and immediately rose to number 1 in the second was the second Wheel of Time book to reach that place.
Number 1
after the Path of Daggers.
So this was
the last one, yeah.
Right.
This is the ninth book.
I also learned through the Wikipedia page that this was the first prologue that was not offered as a free book to download from Tor Books. Up to this point, the prologues had been offered on Tor for free as a way for you to sort of preview the book, and they charged $5 for this prologue.
I remember
$5
buying it.
That's
you
pretty,
know what?
No. I'm talking about the prologue, not the book.
I'm just saying. I don't even know they made those available.
Yeah.
All I remember is just buying the book.
Yeah. If you remember, if you look at the book, in some of the books, you'll actually see the prologue published in the back of the book.
I don't remember that at all. But yes, Adam, you're correct. This is the 9th book.
That might be later publishings. But the other thing that had happened was that
that would make sense, Eric, because if it was the number 1 book, number 1. Last book, of course they would want to make money off that. This book.
Well, the other thing that had happened is Simon & Schuster had bought publishing rights to the ebooks and put it under their Scribner imprint, so it was under a major label's
now we're getting
imprint.
Technical.
What year is this?
2000.
In the year
2000. Okay.
Exactly.
For some reason, I always think these took place before 2000.
There was a lot of outrage over this in the year 2000. People were very disappointed that they had to pay $5 for their prologue.
I get it.
That seems a fair amount because the books themselves at that time were $20.
10. Well, no,
they were 20. Trust me, I
the
remember.
ebooks?
No, I'm just talking.
No,
this
is electronic. This is all electronic.
Right, but you could have bought the prologue before the book came out. So if you're spending $5 in the prologue just for an ebook, and then you're spending the book,
you were spending another $22 to $24
Yeah.
on the hardcover.
Yeah, now those books are $32.
Yeah. Well, wood is more expensive,
and the pulp is not as fine quality.
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
The pulp ain't worth the squeeze.
Nope.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
It ain't.
It's
worth the squeeze.
It's a gambling expression that has made its way into popular culture.
It's not made its way to this.
That's me,
guy.
Popular culture.
I'm apparently not popular enough.
So moving on, we will begin our topics with our view from Dragonmount.
I liked it.
Where we review the plot, and then we'll discuss our favorite moments of the book and what shook your willow. Next, we'll discuss all things related to the White Tower and Tower play. We will move on and look at our head of Tower 2 in Drear Elayne before discussing our protagonist in Get Randy. That is the way this podcast is going to go down.
Drear Elayne.
Drear Elayne. Drear Elayne.
We'll wrap up this podcast as usual with our Coplin of the week and who leveled up. So without further ado, let's head up and away in our beautiful. No, I'm not doing that. Let's jump up and get our view from Dragonmount. Balloon. I was going to say balloon. We already did that. Now, I'm clearly reading templates from previous podcasts. Is how I wrote this episode.
Hence coming up with the black coats are coming.
Right, exactly. Massive lack of preparation on my part.
You only had 7 weeks to do it.
So this prologue
Should we be out to sea with this, matey?
Well, you're out to sea, clearly.
Blimey!
He's out to sea.
Should we be letting him lead us afloat?
There.
Yes, he
In
hard
What
these
are you-
heavy waters.
What are you, Bale Domon?
Ooh,
Speaking of which, where's he
nice.
been?
Yeah, he's drowned.
I hope.
Domon.
I want more of Domon.
So
I do
we
love Bale
are
Domon.
I do be wanting Domon.
we are into Winter's Heart, and the prologue is entitled Snow.
Into winter's heart.
It begins with Cian standing in the depths of the White Tower, pondering like us why the heads of the Ajas seem to be meeting while the rest of the Ajas keep far away from each other as possible. And she, along with several sitters from different Ajas, are torturing Elayne on the aptly named Chair of Remorse to learn who the other members of the Black Aja are.
the chair that's
Yeah,
not a chair
talk
that
about
would be
aptly.
a chair.
That's some
Who?
sweet aptly.
Who are the other members? I don't know. I don't know.
Tell us who you number 2 works for.
Oh gosh.
The chair is a terrangrial, and it clings to those who sit in it. It seems to be a device for torture, raising awful images in the minds of the sitter.
Does it sound a little bit like a waterbed? Like you kind of like,
Except it's unpleasant.
yeah. I mean, so were waterbeds. I hated those things.
Some people
Waterbeds
love
are awful.
Oh, they're
no,
terrible.
you are just whacking your shins.
You're,
in
you're,
those
and not only
things
that,
all
you're
day
asking for
long.
your back to be constantly out of alignment for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. The Aes Sedai are breaking tower law by torturing another Aes Sedai, but believe the consequences are worth the goal. So away they
how
go.
is this different than? Oh,
It's not.
how is this different than lying? I don't understand. If you're breaking,
Oh, it's
You're
totally
lying.
different. No,
well,
no.
my question
No,
is,
break-
You're
breaking
only
of it-
lying if somebody asks you if you did it and you say no.
you think so?
Yes. It's
All
not a
right.
lie. There are
I
a
think it's
bunch
a
of
lie on
different
top of a lie.
sins, Adam. Lying is just one of them, which means it's possible to sin without lying.
But if you're breaking an oath, you said I am going to do this one thing,
What if you're
and you're
breaking the
lying.
law?
they're
because
not
you're
breaking
doing
an
something
oath.
else.
They're not breaking an oath. They didn't take an oath to do this. This is taboo.
well, here's
They
my
are-
question:
they
is it
are-
actually?
okay.
Is it
Okay.
actually any of that? Because if she's a black sister, wouldn't you think that that's like removed from all
But
the
they're
they're
not
doing
black
it to find a
sisters.
black sister.
No,
Right.
they don't
Doing it
have to be
find a
because
black
they're.
sister.
I mean, they've now found one. This is uncharted territory
Yep.
for them,
Yep.
and
Yep.
you would think all taboos would be thrown out the window to deal with this. Because
Well, that's they would agree with you.
yeah, well, good because
But
Yeah.
the tower
They're
may
going to
not.
tell-
They
they're
they,
going
they
to
still
tell.
think that they're going to be prosecuted for this, and
right, which
just
is that's
feel
where
like
I was
it's
going with, 'cause
worth
that's weird.
it's worth it.
Which
Well,
which
that's-
tower?
Politics,
Right.
man. It's
Politics.
politics. So eventually, Elayne forswears her previous oaths and swears the 3 oaths along with loyalty to these sitters. Elayne states that the Black Aja do not meet except for the Supreme Council. So she's telling them, look, I don't know any of the other people. We don't get together. There's not a big old
That's a good
town
plan.
hall of Black Aja where we all dance around the firelight.
Yeah.
There
So-
should be a
Plan for
meme of
them.
me
I
staring
don't
at this
know
paper
anybody
right now.
else. She continues, though, at that point to go, but Elida has to be Black Aja because we know everything she's doing, sometimes before she even does it.
She wasn't trying to throw anyone under the bus. Like
No, she believes this.
I kind
She's
of wish
wrong.
it was true, but
Yeah, but
that
we
would,
know
that would
we know
make
she's
hating
wrong.
her that much easier.
Oh,
It's a great
it's pretty
character,
easy to hate Elida.
It is, but the thing
Oh.
is, like, you don't have a real good reason. Like she's black. What I mean by
I know what
No,
you
you
mean.
have a real good reason. She's
she's just a
awful.
horrible, horrible
Yeah,
person.
and
you could still
ignorant.
be evil without being
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like being a terrible person, but not being a Satanist.
Right,
She's
You
like
could still
Nancy
be an awful
Pelosi.
person.
right, exactly. Adam. She's just full of insider trading information.
Right. Yes.
Yep. She doesn't hide it well.
Doesn't even try to, or her alcoholism for that matter.
She insists that because Elida is Black Aja, they need to all leave the tower. They need to flee. Which
She genuinely
might be a
believes
wise
this.
idea. Well, if Elida were Black Aja, they would. But then
Instead, they
Well-
still need to probably because Elida's just a horrible, horrible person.
well, somebody needs
What
to
is-
stick
I
around
would like to
save the
know-
tower.
I would like to know the ongoings of the kitchen at the tower at this point.
Well, the pots are being scrubbed
'Cause-
by probably a lot of people because Elida's surely punishing
Right,
everyone and their
yes.
aunt.
Yeah. It would be interesting to know just how the actual the everything is run.
kitchen must be
inside of the tower.
spotless.
I wonder. I can't remember what the head of the kitchen's name is, but she's still probably berating people left and right with her spoon,
Yes.
and thankfully letting Elayne out.
So a lot of stuff is just acting as normal within the tower.
Well, except there are rats that didn't used to be there.
Right, which is
Oh yeah,
the dark one.
not good.
I don't
Listen.
I actually don't think there's much normal going on in the tower any longer. I'm pretty sure normalcy has left the tower.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. That's answering a question that I did not formulate very well.
So it's at this point that Ciane starts questioning, did Elida mean for me to search for the Black Aja?
Right, because she wasn't.
Is that the mission that I was sent on? Because she was rather oblique with that language.
And meanwhile, we as the readers all know no, but yes, but no.
Right, no.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly.
Right, exactly.
We got all of the information.
Pavara then has Ciane reveal that they've learned that the rebels have sent people to the tower to spread the lie about Logain and the Red Aja.
I hate that they know that.
So now they're aware that not only do they have Black Aja in their midst, but they also have rebel Aes Sedai in their midst. So they decide at this point that they're going to use these rebel Aes Sedai to hunt the Black Aja. So
I cannot. Yep, that's a good. Hey, that's a good intro to a book.
What's a good intro?
What do you
to
mean?
A book?
What's a good intro to a book? That all of a sudden they have
this
rebel.
Yes. This is a great. Yeah, this is great forecasting for sure. Or not forecasting, but for what would you call it? For
shadowing.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Foregrounding.
No,
That's what I meant to say. Foregrounding.
Ooh.
So then we join Elayne a few days after she has formally announced her claim to the Lion Throne. Nynaeve and Rihanna have been planning how to remove the kin from the Shan-Chan-controlled territories. Van Dien has been walking the halls at night in search of her sister's killer.
Yeah, that's
It seems Elayne has decided that Nynaeve should be the next Aes Sedai advisor to the Queen of Andor. Nynaeve. That even-tempered advisor, Nynaeve. Brigitte is training a new unit of the Tower Guard. So she's now helping raise the guard for Elayne, who Elayne is debating with Brigitte and Dylan over whether or not to use mercenaries or hunters for the Horn to fill the Queen's Guard's ranks because they're so thin. And the city is slowly descending into chaos.
Easy on the thin people.
Yeah.
Aren't the hunters of the Horn always going to be distracted?
Well, this is one of the arguments, Adam, that Brigitte makes.
They're just always going to be like
Dylan. Well, right.
Why
they could get up and run at any moment when somebody comes by and goes, I think I saw the Horn of Valir in that toilet bowl. What?
What is the advantage, again, of not announcing that this thing has been found?
Chaos.
Really? There's a lot of chaos.
Well, they don't want. I mean, if you're the tower, you don't want people storming the castle to get at the Horn of Valir. If that indeed would happen, I don't know that it would.
But
I don't know that there's a lot of
blown?
benefit to not revealing that it's been found. To be honest,
I don't think
with
there's
you.
any. I think it's weird.
Yeah, just get on with it already.
Then you don't have these hunters wandering around. You could actually use them.
I'm not so sure about that.
Give them cash.
Right.
Cash
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, because mercenaries always worked really well in the Middle Ages.
Or give them a horn.
Most reliable soldiers ever.
I'm confused. Am I a moron here? Isn't the horn already blown? Can someone else blow it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You can only blow it once, and then someone else.
Remember, there is a concern about who blew the horn because Moiraine's plan was for Rand to blow the horn because it needs to be blown again.
I wonder if it's one of those types of things where, like,
I get it.
Where you can transfer the blowing.
Well, no, I wonder if it's like one of those types of things where the horn
transfer the blowing,
where the horn chooses you, type of a thing.
I think that was one of the things that Moiraine thought when Matt ended up being the horn blower. I think it was something that crossed her mind. So
I feel like Matt should just have it on his person at all times.
Oh yeah,
he's the luckiest man.
That makes a lot of sense because he's totally reliable.
It's perfectly safe. It's on my person.
Yeah,
it's perfect. That's my
got
quote
that
from
Fox.
Office Christmas. It's perfectly safe. It's on my person.
Right.
That movie is so good.
So good. And I will be watching
it's
it
a lot of
shortly.
fun. Rhaenyra Din Callan and Zaida Din Parid then enter the room without permission, followed by Marililla. Rhaenyra is
In a
clearly
flurry.
followed by Marililla, and Rhaenyra is clearly jealous of Zaida's position as ambassador for Mistress of the Ships.
Right.
So
You're just a
the
wind
sea
finder.
folks' politics is just getting in the way of the conversation here.
Not for long.
The two sea folk want Elayne to immediately honor the bargain to provide them with 20 Aes Sedai teachers. They are like the annoying neighbor that you told you could could use a tool that you told them they could borrow, and they keep coming over every day and asking if they can borrow the tool. And you just want to say,
truck.
it's my tool. I'll give it to you when I'm darn good and ready.
You could say that
Yeah.
they're a tool.
Yeah, the Aes Sedai got the pickup truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's just asking him,
Right.
I'm moving.
I'm not moving you
got the
this
pickup
weekend. I need the pickup
No, but
truck.
you got the,
I'm
you got the
buying an
pickup truck.
armoire.
I have some trash I need to take out to the dump, and
Right.
you got the pickup truck.
Yes. So the sea folk need to get off her back. Elayne says
Jack.
No kidding.
she'll see how many of her current Aes Sedai she can find to provide them.
Hey,
And
they want that
Zaida,
plot of land
Zaida takes that as a promise. Right.
that they don't know where it will be.
Mazrim Taim.
Apparently, it'll be devastating.
Mazrim Taim then enters the room without permission. People are just walking
my
into this
goodness.
room. The door must be open. Who
That's
left the
true.
door open?
Yeah.
The problem is they don't have a
Well,
Rand's Aiel guarding the door.
Right.
Elayne kicked
Yep.
them all out.
Right. So
That's what you get.
Oh, very good point, David.
Oh.
Time has appeared 2 days after Elayne has summoned him. He informs
Here we
her.
go
She tells him that he is
can take it up with
welcome, and that she requires to be allowed to patrol inside the gates of the Black Tower daily, in order for him to stay inside of inside of Camelin proper.
I'm actually surprised he kind of took it as well as he did.
Well, he didn't take it well, but he did agree to it.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
Nadir then enters and informs Elayne that it's time for the ceremony that will make Elayne and Avienda first sisters.
Oh,
And
boy.
Elayne and Avienda go through a ceremony to become near sisters. The one power is used, and the whole
lot
thing
of
is a
weirdness
lot. Well,
ensues.
it's just rebirth. It's just a rebirthing. So there's a lot of
get
birthing
to it.
imagery.
Don't worry about it. We'll get to it.
Yeah, that too.
Why we'll get to
That
it on the
sound-
Jersey Shore, I'm not sure, but we will get to it.
Right.
We
I'm
then
done
join,
with it. I finished it. I don't need to talk anymore like that. Anyhow, go ahead.
bada boom.
Bing, bing, bada,
Uh,
big bada,
Bada
boom.
bing.
Bada bing,
Bada
bada boom.
bing.
Bada bing, bada boom. We then join Tovanne Ghazal in the Black Tower as she rises to meet Logain at his home. She's been blamed by the other 50 Aes Sedai for their capture. She hates Logain for the bond and saving her from a beating by her sisters the first day they were captured. I often hate people who save me from a beating. Darn you
get
for
it.
Depends
saving
if you
me
want that
from
beating.
that beating. Right, yeah, exactly.
You think that's Dave's
I don't really think she wanted
She
this
was-
beating.
looking forward to it.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
she had written a note.
Right.
She had put it in
she had a
triplicate.
safe word.
She did.
She was ready to go.
She had written over consent.
Right.
Game on.
Yeah, exactly.
She said, "There is
Beat me
no
up."
safe word."
That's right. They ain't no safe. Everything's dangerous. As
That's
Did you
very
say
true.
beam me up?
I said, beat me up.
I
Oh,
feel like
geez.
beat
Beat
me up is even
does not
better.
belong in this conversation. I don't.
No,
it's
it
not
doesn't. That's-
sci-fi at all.
I know, but I did not expect beat me up. There's some sci-fi in here. Remember those ships that were like floating around in the sky?
The crystal
That's a little
ships?
Sci-fi. Yeah.
As,
Well, no, the ones that were like, I forget what they were called.
but they were like.
Yeah.
No, back in the day before the world was destroyed, when they had the special ships that they could fly around. No one.
No,
All right,
you're
cut
talking
that
about
out.
Joe
Cut that out.
cars.
Yeah, Joe. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Joe cars. That's
These
sci-fi.
people did not have those.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. Now that we got your Joe car experience out of the way,
I just am happy you came up with the name.
so believe
I'm
me,
impressed.
so am I.
Yeah.
as she heads towards Loghain's house, we get a better sense of the Black Tower than we've had for a while. It's grown into a large village housing 500 Ashaman and their families.
It has a border wall around it that's not completely finished.
There's a black stone wall that's 8 miles in size, that's a few feet high, and only 3 months under construction.
Enough federal funding to be
right,
completed.
exactly. That is true.
Wait, it's only a few feet high?
Congress keeps holding up the funding for the wall.
Yeah, it's
how
not
are
approved.
they making this?
There's a
How
regime
are
change.
they making this? I have a question.
With the
really
power.
One brick at a time, brick by brick.
Yeah,
Adam.
but why is it
brick
taking them
by
so
brick?
long?
Because people are
Brick by
dying
brick.
doing it.
Oh,
Literally.
Well,
Some people
gather
are, not
some
many.
more.
Not many
It's a
people
few.
are. But you got to remember, these guys have a tough day. Like they're training with swords all day long. Then they got to
True.
go and do manual labor. I mean,
True.
come on.
True.
They need to put those
But-
children to work. That's what needs to happen.
I'm sure they probably
I
are.
bet that it could have happened.
And the wives.
Well, there you go. The wives are cooking the food and washing the clothes.
Right, exactly. They can make the wall too. Come
and
on.
staring at their husbands who
Why
are
do
slowly
clothes
losing their
need to be
minds.
washed?
Right.
Can't they just zap
Yes.
them with the power?
Right.
That's
Yeah,
the
that's
bigger
I
true.
guess you shouldn't be using the power that much. If
No.
you're
The
in-
guys
they
are
are.
using the power for everything.
They're
So I'm
using
sure
it
the power
probably-
is getting used.
They're
for
probably
this.
using it way too much and testing the levels of their sanity way faster
Yeah.
than it should be.
Yep.
Yeah, I just did think of that.
But
that-
but
that
the
maybe
but the
that's why
viewpoint
it's so
is
slow
from
to be
Rand.
used.
They're just treating these people as tools for the incoming war because all Rand can
Yep.
see is that he's going to die anyhow. So it's just, but he wants to leave something behind, but he doesn't care about leaving the men behind that he's using as weapons of war.
Well, but also don't forget he's trying to rid Saidin of the.
He
taint.
will
So
eventually.
he
yes.
is- He's trying to save.
And I
these
really
men.
hope that happens because that can't happen soon enough for Rand's sake, so we don't have to deal with him.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna happen soon.
I hope it does.
No, I don't think it's going to happen soon. It's a massive undertaking.
But it's also a good just storyline to hold on to.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what that is, Adam? That's rich and compelling.
Oh,
It
we
sure
haven't had a
is.
rich and compelling sighting in a while.
I know. It was,
I
it was-
haven't.
I
You
was
know
holding it
what,
in my back pocket.
Dave? It is delicious this time of year. That is rich and compelling.
Yes, it's
It's
true.
cold outside
And the weather is
where you
frightful.
are.
As Tovanne goes
It was
about
50 today.
the orders Loghain
Nice.
has given her, she sees Elayne and Brigitte on what must be the first patrol of the Black Tower that they've made Loghain commit to, or Mazrim Taim commit to. Sorry. As Tovanne listens to the reports given by the other Ashaman to Loghain, we learn that he is hoping some of them can learn how to heal gentling.
I feel like the themes of the book slowly, for me, are becoming who do we not like and who do we like and who do we like least. It's like there's a constant Coplin moment going on in
Yeah.
my brain. And
Yeah.
so now we got her in the Black Tower, which we know is a cesspool of not good. And furthermore,
We know now, right?
we're getting further confirmation of our suspicions earlier with these private tutorings going on with Taim, and then all of a
Yep.
sudden, are we supposed to like her? Are we not supposed to like her?
I mean, I think you rely on your feelings while you're reading this, and I don't think that the reader can help but sympathize with her plight. She was ordered to do this. She didn't have a choice. She didn't go and do it on her own. Then she was abandoned by the same person that ordered her to do this. She finds herself in a complete, her whole world gets turned on its head.
Granted, she seems like a miserable person. Also, she's a red.
Yes,
She's
she
out for
does.
no good for anybody. But
Well, right. She's upset that she's been saved from a beating.
right,
So she's obviously a complainer, and clearly a prideful person, too proud.
Aren't they
but,
all?
This is the impression that we get of the Reds at the very least.
Yeah.
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 But on the same hand, you do feel sorry for her in this situation. Overall, we'll see. I think that we still have a lot to learn.
I think
from-
Dave is celebrating
about her.
it.
I can't. I
You
need
think
more
she's
people
getting her
to like.
comeuppance?
I think she's
Yeah.
getting her comeuppance, but
uppance
I
has
like
come?
redemption stories. So I'm hoping that maybe
Sure.
Oh, maybe there's a redemption story
Right.
in here after she gets another kiss.
right. Well, someone needs one. Elaine's not
Someone
getting
does.
one
We
Someone
need
needs a
more
smooching.
kisses. We need.
with
It was
Gimpy
it's not
Mo or
true.
whatever his name with the Mo with the gimpy leg.
I saw you two
It's not
smooching.
true.
Saw you two smooching.
I love you. Oh my gosh.
I love you.
I watched that with Wolf, and we were it was amazing. It
Oh,
was an
man.
amazing movie to watch with him.
Yeah.
That scene
Did
nearly
he,
made
oh,
me
he
cry
was-
from
did he love
laughter.
Tim
Dying.
Curry?
Oh yeah.
How can you not?
Yeah, of course. Every child.
His
would love
trembling
Tim
lip
Curry.
when he's
Cool man.
trying not to cry.
Oh, he's got a rubber face. I mean, his
does.
face is so
So good.
expressive. Yeah, and he's
Oh,
hilarious.
yeah. What an amazing man.
Danilo Sandomir reports that Taim is giving private lessons to Mishrael.
Okay, so this is
So now we have
that in and of itself isn't necessarily.
That
But
is
keep
when-
going.
It is when you consider the fact that we think that he's a black
Wait,
friend.
keep going, and then I'm going
You
to
don't think
confirm
it's
this.
necessarily
And
a
just-
bad
just
thing,
wait,
Dan?
just
Andrew
wait.
Genhold then
Okay,
comes
okay.
running in to announce that 7 men involved in the assassination attempt on Rand have been added to the deserters list.
Now is when I'm going to interject, and I didn't even need to write this down. I think this is our first confirmation, our first factual confirmation that Taim is a dark friend. Because notice who he says who's on this list. 2 people who Rand did not put on this list of people to be killed.
Right.
So
Yes.
now all of a sudden he's disobeying Rand's orders directly and putting 2 people who are for the light on the list of people
Well, at
to be
least
killed.
sympathetic to Rand.
Yeah.
Sympathetic to Rand, and he is
It's
right.
really
and he
too
is-
bad.
He is trying to off them.
We knew this was coming.
We
now it's
I don't think we knew
suspected.
this was coming.
Yeah.
No, not that, but we knew that he was.
We knew that there was going to be a confrontation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. But this is
He was rotten to the core.
I had to read this a couple of times to actually get what was going on here. Because at first I went, yeah, of course they need to kill off those guys. And it wasn't until I read it a second time that I went, oh, wait a minute. Not all these
So who
names
are
are the
the
guys
two that
that
are
were involved.
sympathetic?
It's the 2 Flynn and not
Narishma?
Flynn and
No.
Narishma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are Rand's biggest trust, the only 2 people he trusts,
Yep.
and his 2 of his biggest supporters.
Which then makes
Power
you
play.
wonder, does that mean that just the rest of the Dark Tower is all black friends, or the Black Tower they're all just dark friends? I reversed that. I transposed those 2 words. That everybody in the Black Tower is dark friend. Is a
They
dark friend.
follow him
No, I don't.
wholeheartedly, and we've been saying that from the get-go. It's not good.
I mean,
feel like
Rand's
they
not
follow
there to
him more
lead
than
them.
Rand. Yeah,
Well, right, because
no.
Rand's never around.
Yeah.
Proximity
Which
is
is
kind of
becoming a
important to
huge
relationships.
problem.
Yeah.
So
yes.
this is what you were talking about before with being able to find a cure for
Right. And here's
this.
it's weird I'm going to say these words because I never felt like I was going to ever say these words, but I'm kind of grateful that Loghain's there.
Oh yes, I think that's one of the purposes
Absolutely.
of this section.
It's just
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
because up to this point, Loghain's
Weird.
just kind of been this.
Oh, well, because remember, up to this point, it's been Loghain right around Elaine's mom,
Yeah.
Trakand.
Yeah, but that was a while
no,
ago.
she was never around.
Yes.
Well, okay,
Yes, he was.
way
Yeah.
back when, very briefly,
Well,
we
right,
had
and he
no
was
no
super-
interaction.
He was
of it.
super surly and argumentative.
Yeah.
We didn't like him.
Mm-hmm.
Why can I not think of her name? It's not Elaine.
her
More
mom.
gays.
Morghese,
He
yeah.
was around. He was around more gays.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Swan.
And Swan.
Right.
And he's But I mean, I feel he served a good purpose. He was there and he saved them and then wandered off.
Oh yeah, and he clearly is not a fan of Taim, so that makes him
No.
Right.
the
So,
enemy
you know-
of my enemy.
You know what's just funny?
Yep.
We've got Tower 1 and Tower 2 all over again. But in
Yes,
the Black
right.
Tower.
Yes, this is symmetry.
yeah,
this is storytelling symmetry for sure.
It's politics, man. Politics.
Politics,
So
man. This is what Eric, are you standing up right now?
no, I just
Oh.
straightened in my chair.
I
We
just
wanted
noticed
to have
you're
a
wearing
better
a
view
cardigan.
of the
Yes,
He's
truth.
wearing a cardigan.
I'm wearing a
and-
very old man looking
Him
cardigan.
and Mr. Rogers.
No.
But it's
Well-
made of wool and it's nice and warm and it doesn't itch.
Mr. Rogers' fashion is choice.
No one wears a cardigan like Mr. Rogers wears a
Fred.
Well, his mom made them for him.
Well, that's man.
That's
if mom
impressive.
could make this, I would be wearing a lot more cardigans
for sure.
Oh no,
and
it
spending a
was way
lot
better
less
than
money
that.
on clothes.
I would never
No, his
wear
mom
one.
made all. His mom
once in
made
my life,
all of
but-
them. Yeah, it's incredible.
How do you know this?
That's
I
definitely
like,
something.
I like
some
some
Mr.
know.
Rogers.
These are
I
things
like
I
some.
know.
I like some of him stuff. He said it on a couple shows. Well, he had one. He was like, "My mother made this." I can't do his voice. My mother made
It's
this.
much
for
higher
me."
pitched than that.
I can't do it.
I
Yeah.
know. It's not an easy voice to do.
Mm-mm. I shouldn't even try because
there's no real accent. It's just it's a speech pattern.
No, I feel like he was given to us by
it's definitely New England.
aliens.
It's like Vermont. He's got a
He was
Vermont.
given
accent.
to us by
time of
the
year.
aliens to be a pure light in this world.
All right. Anyway,
It's nice.
while
Go.
in the house, Gabrielle tells Tovain that Logain is the only Ashaman to live in the village because the rest of them all live in Taim's palace.
Have we skipped over the fact that the other sister's sleeping with Logain?
Yeah, I mean, yes, yep. There, that's a plot point too.
And the other one's like, you hussy.
Right, she's upset with her.
But she's just simply like, hey man, what better way to find out the information than sleeping with the enemy?
Right, yeah.
There you
She's
go.
right.
What a weird
Pillow
movie.
talk.
We'll see how far that gets her.
I mean, it's already gotten her pretty
Pillow
far.
talk. Is it pillow? Do they have pillows?
Gabrielle goes on
Apparently
to
they
say
do. Each
Logain
other.
found Tovain's lap desk and has burned it.
No, I think you mean.
And that's important because
Yeah.
that's where the orders are
That's where all the goods were.
to kill all the Ashaman.
Oh boy.
Gentle.
Yeah.
Right,
AKA
yeah,
take you
yeah.
back to the tower.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck gentling all those guys. There was definitely going to have to be some murder. Tovain remarks that Elida's illegal orders to still and hang the Ashaman without trial were in the desk. She wonders why Logain has spared her the violent reaction of the Ashaman should they have ever found those orders. He's also spared her stilling by the tower for following the illegal orders. So he saved her a whole lot of political travail.
Yeah.
Gabrielle then reveals that she has discovered that the Ashaman are broken up into a few factions, the largest being those that follow Taim,
Tower
and
1 and
those
Tower
that
2.
follow, and then there are those that follow Logain. And she wants to use the fractures between these groups to break the Black Tower, but is concerned about what will happen if they are to spread across the continent.
You know, and this is another interesting. We got two ex-dragons, if you will, pitted against each other, and then the real dragon, who's not even there, who can't be bothered to show up. I wonder if he even knows that Logain is there.
Yeah, I don't think he does.
You think he
I don't
should
think
know
he does.
everything? I don't think he.
He's not.
We have
he's
no
not
evidence of him
omniscient.
knowing.
This is
Yeah,
a
no, I know.
pot, and it is just overflowing.
It has been. This pot has
It's been bubbling.
This pot
It's
has
been
been
simmering.
in a slow. It's been in a slow broil.
And
Yeah,
now
and
we left it
now-
on the stove for too long.
Yes.
yeah. Here we go.
And now we don't have enough water to cook our pasta.
Yep. It's a shame.
Exactly. You put it in there, it gets all.
Our
gooey.
pasta's, yeah, it's not going to be
It's all
good.
janky.
What'd you say?
Janky.
You can't
It is
have janky
janky.
pasta.
I don't want that janky pasta.
You shouldn't.
Gabrielle is also concerned that the 51 captured Aes Sedai might fall into their own, factious Ajas. So she doesn't. She needs them to stay united in order to fight this other, this foe.
United
She
we
suggests
stand.
to unite the sisters, and she and Tovain submit to Desandre Alraid's authority. Submit to Desandre Alraid's authority publicly to begin the unification process of these different captured sisters and their
gonna be
different
interesting.
Ashas. The last thought we have from Tovain is that before the Ashaman are destroyed, she will use them to take down Elida.
I couldn't be happier of a thing being said in this book series than that.
Oh,
When all
I
is said and
celebrate
done,
it.
there's no question.
I don't know how she's going to achieve
My
that
most
goal.
hated character in this book series is going to be Elida.
Okay.
Who does Elida have
fairly
behind
certain.
her? In all
My
honesty,
right hook.
Behind her?
Yeah,
Nobody,
who's
because
gonna
she's
fight
awful.
for Elida?
Nobody.
Who's gonna fight for her?
No
No,
one.
the people that will are the
Yeah.
people that are bound to
The
her
only-
by Tower law.
The
That's
only
who.
people that she has on her side are people that she's bullied and
Yeah, she's just
frightened into
terrified.
supporting her.
She's gonna get taken down fast. She should get taken down
yeah,
fast. And then
all
would
it
be weird.
takes is one person to decide to do it, and they're going to realize that, like you suggest, Adam, the
The
woman has no
dominoes are gonna
supporters.
fall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Except,
So I hope that
except
person's
that
a
she
good
is
person
red,
that
and
does
that
it.
red Aja does seem to stick together because they know that nobody else likes them either.
No.
But I do feel like they stick together when someone just below the power.
I mean, here's a question
is-
at this point. With Rand,
Wouldn't they be following? Sorry, Dave. Go
no,
ahead.
with Rand having the Black Tower, and if he cleanses the taint,
Does he?
why is the Red Tower even, or why is the Red Aja even going to exist?
Well,
I don't know if Rand cleanses the
shouldn't,
taint,
but
that
haven't
really helps.
It wouldn't have a purpose. It
Right.
would still exist. It wouldn't have a purpose, but they haven't even considered this. They're not even aware of this as an option.
They are not me.
Yeah. No, they're not.
Well, they're not reading these books.
I'm just going with
You
they
are.
are not me.
I do have a question though, Dave.
Yes.
David is enjoying his omnipotence,
Dum-dum.
his omniscience.
I am all knowing.
I'm
I
the
know
whiz.
everything that
I'm
Right,
the whiz.
exactly.
I'm the whiz.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
if the taint is fixed and
Yes.
you don't have to suffer from that, do you feel like those fellas are going to follow Rand more than
I think there
Myers
would be,
and time at that point?
If they
Yes.
know that Rand is the one
You
that
do?
set them
Don't
free,
you?
and
Yeah.
they're not dark
Oh.
friends, yeah.
If you discover,
Okay.
that your
yeah. If
your
he's the one that did
Lord
it,
in
yeah, yeah.
name is powerful enough to do that, to do
To save
something
your
that
life?
the Dark One
Okay.
created, I think.
Adam,
I would
their
hope.
wives
I
are going to be
hope. Who
throwing
knows?
themselves at him.
I mean,
it's going to be
who
ridiculous.
He achieves demigod status
Yeah,
at that
I mean,
point.
You've done, you are
He
the
has
creator
it. He
light.
has already. But
I
we'll
don't
see.
know.
He's on his way, but
Yeah.
that's like the penultimate, like, thank you, kind sir, may I have another.
So then we do join Rand and Min secretively stopping at the Academy of Kyrian. Rand looks through a window at the courtyard
I love
below where
Rand
men
and
are
Min.
fiddling with a contraption he
love
can't
Min.
identify. Rand is
Yep.
asking Lord Dobrain about the impressions in the city after his attack, and the rumors,
I forgot
the
about this
rumors
place.
are predictable. People think that Rand was attacked by Aes Sedai or the Forsaken or has gone mad. Aelil and Shallon's presence has been missed, and Rand informs Dobrain he has had the women trussed and stuffed under a bed.
Or trust.
Trust, thank you. Yes, that's what I meant.
Mm.
The sea folk are raising a fuss.
Wait, what?
What a
Imagine that.
surprise.
Pardon me?
I know the sea folk are raising a fuss over Shallon and Rand. And Rand tells Dobrain he will find the women with Cadsuane. Rand's been trying to determine what Cadsuane's actions have meant lately and lands on the placement of the Sun Throne and the leadership of Tyr. He thinks he will have to confront her with his own plans because he thinks that they run athwart hers. After musing on his
A
purpose of
thwart.
yes, yeah.
I love it.
After musing on his purpose of, I just came up with that on my own. I didn't write that down. After musing on his purpose of creating
Oh,
the
now I don't
academy
like
to
it.
leave a legacy other than destruction, Rand hands Dobrain letters. One letter makes Dobrain steward of Kyrian until Elayne takes the Sun Throne, and Dobrain supports her. And the other letter seems to be orders for someone not easily stirred. They seem to be to try to rouse somebody who is not easily put to action. The name surprises Dobrain, but we are not privy to it. We also get a
Who do you
suggestion
think
that there
it
is something in
is?
Dobrain's orders that might unsettle the academy, which is interesting. The quotation is, "She would shed no tears if those other schools vanished and the scholars were forced to come to the academy.
She's
Even
a
the
little
philo-
creepy.
even the philosophers. What
Yes.
would she think if one particular order in Dobrain? What would she think of one particular order in Dobrain's packet?"
It's like you need to put a footnote on that to figure out what that is later if we ever find out what that is.
This is this and that is that.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. It seems Rand will be away from Kyrian for a while. As they prepare to depart, Rand has a bout of dizziness and sees the hazy face without channeling for the first time. Oh, yay. The hazy face.
It's
Yes.
back.
Yeah, he better figure this out fast.
Yeah, great. Hazy face.
It's a hazy face of winter.
Face. You got the cutest. Anyway, it
It's
seems
a
that
hazy face of
as they
winter.
Rand offers to explain to Min why he has traveled to the different places they've been, but Min has figured it out on her own.
Yeah, man.
She's a smart as a whip cracker. That
Yeah,
one.
she's been reading those books by old what's his name?
Harrod Fell.
There we go.
See, you just needed me back.
Good old Harrod Fell. Yes. He's been laying false trails to confuse everyone who might know his or to confuse anyone who might know his location. She's also realized that his plans involve a sangreal he keeps in a script near himself at all times. So she hasn't figured out exactly what he's doing. She's just figured out that he's trying to confuse somebody by jumping around from place to
Right.
place.
She doesn't know the cleansing, but yeah. Or that's,
Right. So what she does know is that he is laying the trail to keep those away from him when he uses the Terangrial to help him cleanse the taint from Saidin.
I mean, I can't with that.
The prologue
It's a
closes
lot.
as the two ride off in the snow. Adam, what shook your Willow?
Okay, so I have a
So
question for you too.
No, your Willow is not a question.
No,
it is a declarative
question for you
statement.
too. It's a declarative statement that I have never seen this before in my life.
Okay.
Thunder snow. Elayne talks about the fact that she sees and witnesses lightning
thunder,
and thunder.
snow.
This is something that exists in our world. Have you ever seen
this is
it
real?
snowing? And yeah,
Okay,
Have you ever
tell
seen
me
it?
more.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yes, I have seen.
Eric
I've
feels
seen
like he's
snow
seen it.
and lightning.
And
Once.
thunder?
Once.
It's called snightning.
I think there was thunder, but I mean, it was one time. I've only
never heard
of this.
witnessed it once.
Me either, Dave. I had never heard of it before, and I thought of it, and I was like, "Wow, that's really."
Where would
creative.
you
I
have
wanna look
witnessed
it up.
this?
Here, it was here, but it was
It
years
could happen
ago.
there.
It
Yeah,
was, and it was, and it was
I know
one
how we
day. It just
laughed.
happened on one day.
Hmm.
Yeah,
One day more.
yeah. It
Yeah,
was,
no, there is actually
Interesting. I didn't
something.
even know
There,
that was
this is a
real.
real thing, Dave.
This is an
And
atmospheric
I agree
phenomenon,
with you because
which Adam
because
has
we've-
researched, and now will give us the explanation for
I
it.
want him
The
to tell about
meteorological explanation. Go ahead,
I'm
Adam.
not
like
giving
it.
you the explanation.
Well,
I'm just saying
you
to Dave.
suck.
this. I just want to know.
Well, there's no.
That brought down the house.
I'm just waiting for
I mean,
Adam
I
to
could-
talk, and Eric's just going like Adam and I normally do over him. So
Yeah,
it's not
I had no. I
the
could
roles
not
have
actually
reversed.
give an explanation for this.
for
But
how it
anyhow.
happens. But so what this is?
Well,
is
no.
apparently
To
thunder.
Dave's point,
Yeah.
I did not know that this was a real thing, and I looked it up, and it is. And I like that fact that Dave did not know it either.
I would have
because
never
we
even looked it up because I
have
would have thought it
seen
was
so
just a
much
fantasy
snow.
thing.
That's what I thought, and we
Yeah.
have seen so much snow in our lives,
I
and I've
know.
never seen this before.
Well,
And
like
apparently
I
Eric
said-
has, and he's like, no big deal.
He's like MBD.
I only
guys.
saw
I've
it
seen it
once.
one
doesn't
time.
happen that often.
Right.
It's
Yeah, well,
to,
lead with that.
Right.
oh, shut up! You're just disappointed that I have actually seen
The
this
one
and
time
knew it
that
was
you've
a
seen
thing.
it. That you've lived with
I'm not
us that the rest of
disappointed
us
by
don't
that.
remember.
I'm disappointed by your excitement. If you had seen ball lightning and that's how you respond to it, oh, it's gonna burn my.
Did you
biscuits
just say
for-
Thunder
Ball lightning?
snow is not as
Yeah,
is
ball
not as
lightning.
interesting as ball lightning.
I don't even
I
know
think
what
it
that is
is.
either.
Okay, all right.
think
well,
it
that's
is.
the
I've
difference
never seen
between
it.
you and
All
me.
right, let's just go to Adam's Willow.
That's my Willow.
Oh, that was your Willow. Oh, okay.
Your Willow is the occurrence of thunder snow. Mine
cool.
was Mervyn Pohl's steam engine that he had created there
Right.
that Rand is
Yeah.
staring at out of the window. So the man
I
has
love it. It's another invention.
Yes, so they are. Remember the last time we talked about this, we discussed the fact that this academy was moving them into the industrial age. Well, here is a sure
Yep.
sign of it.
So
Yep.
my question with that is, the golden age
Mm-hmm.
was apparently not an industrial age. Also, was it all just magic? What were the
The
Joe
Age of
cards?
Legends?
running? Yeah.
The Age of Legends didn't need an industrial age. Everything was magic. Yes, it was all the
all the
power.
Joe cards and stuff and the
Sign-
trolley cars they're talking about all ran on just the
Yes.
power.
Yeah. mhm.
Yeah,
That sounds
that's why I was saying it was
exhausting.
sci-fi, but you're right.
Oh
it
no
is
no no
magic.
no! Remember, they you can create things that once you imbue them
Self-automate.
with the power. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Can use it on their own, and so that's how I imagine those things were working. But we never. It's totally clean.
They're like
it's a totally
mushrooms that
clean
can fly
world.
around.
There's no pollution
Yeah.
because everything runs
It's
on
all
the one
EV.
power. And this is well, right, except there's waste with that.
No.
Still.
Right. Yeah, you have to have
No.
coal stations to
No,
produce
not
electricity.
EV.
Right.
EV, you have to have a power structure. For
Right.
that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So this is one of the amazing things about this age, but one of the other
Terribly inefficient.
themes that this book develops is it good for an entire society to be this dependent upon magic?
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
that's one of the things that we will, as we move farther into this industrialization, we'll talk about more and more. So that was mine.
Interesting.
Was Mervyn Pohl's choo choo train,
Steam engine.
and he was
Yeah,
eating a darn it, a Charleston
Good
chew
and
while he
plenty.
was making it.
Oh man. I
Oh
love
yeah, that
candy.
Charleston. Why did someone give a thumbs up to me?
I don't know.
Was that you, Dave?
I'm all the way on the other side of the screen, so there's no way, literally, shape,
Yeah.
or form
There's no-
possible.
I
that
just got
could.
a thumbs up somehow.
Oh, I made a gesture that must have looked like a
Oh.
thumbs up to my camera, and so it did. It
Oh,
does
that is creepy.
Oh, it does that? An AI puts that
Yeah,
in there?
Zoom's been doing
Okay,
it for
hold on.
about a year.
Oh no, you gave another thumbs up to me.
Well, yeah.
Stop holding your thumbs up. I do not like
Oh,
this.
it's this. It's my thumb. See
I
my
cannot.
thumb?
Yeah,
It's how
I
I'm
love how
holding
you're
the
holding it.
microphone.
Turn that off.
I don't know
Ugh.
how. I didn't know it was on.
You didn't even know it was incorporated.
Yeah, I think it's
I cannot
hilarious.
stand it. Oh,
All right,
no.
so
I'll
my
figure it-
Willow.
I'll try to
Anyhow,
figure it
yeah.
out. Yeah.
Give it to me, Dave. Sorry.
My Willow
yeah.
is I
Shake
found
it
it.
to me.
I found it. I found it absolutely hysterical that in that moment between Elayne and Avienda, where they're talking about like their faults and their flaws, and
Oh, yeah.
Avienda picks that she's gobbling up sweets, that Elayne is gobbling up sweets. I literally burst out laughing.
That is so
'Cause I'm
you,
just-
by the way.
I was just picturing Elayne just like, no one's looking
Yeah.
around. She's like, don't mind if I do have another donut. Thank you very much. Like
Yeah.
literally talking to the donut and eating and just gobbling it. I can totally see it.
God bless her.
I know it's
It
amazing.
reminds for some reason or another, Elaine reminds me so much of Princess Elanwi in the Black Cauldron.
I can see it. I can see
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
I can see that.
Totally. Much younger, but
I just think it's really. I just want to see that slap off.
Yes, for sure, man. They're getting
my
knocked across
gosh.
the floor.
really?
They're
Yeah.
sliding
Oh, yeah.
across the floor.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
like the predecessor to this current modern day face slapping thing that we got
Yeah.
going
In New
on.
Oh,
York, yeah,
jeez.
yeah. No,
These
it's
poor
not.
people.
These women know
These
it's
poor
coming and it's
people.
voluntary.
I mean, kind of. Elayne didn't think that second slap from Avienda was going to be so strong, and she went flying.
That
Yeah.
was such a great scene. Oh my gosh.
That whole
I can't believe that's
the whole lead into how that whole thing happens. Elayne having to change clothes in front of everybody, like
Yep.
the weirdness with that. Then she goes there. They go through this crazy process of rebirth, and it's like,
And you're right, time is there, and they deliberately time it so that she has to do this in front of. I'd forgotten that they deliberately time this so that it is
intentionally
uncomfortable
embarrassing
for her.
Yes,
ain't no good. Yep.
yeah.
and,
That's-
and then just like
I mean,
they're-
but
the everyone's naked in this scenario, which is another Jordan
Well,
thing.
all the women are naked.
Well, that's the only ones there.
No, you just said time is
They
there.
left the room. Remember, they left and went and found everybody else waiting for them in another room. So they had to go through the tower naked. Elaine's wandering through the tower naked.
Okay. Well, right. But the only people who are naked and wandering around are women.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the typical Jordan thing.
Right.
we need to
Yes.
stop. We need to stop talking about this.
So
Is it? Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just raising this because this is an issue. But anyway, go on.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
so
Oh my
it just
gosh.
that whole scenario is just. But I guess
Yeah.
it makes sense. It's birth.
It's
you know.
shame. It's
Yes.
shame for them.
Yeah,
It's a shame ritual. Yeah.
So
It ain't no good for them.
just kind of crazy, but it's more than just because now they have like.
They're sisters.
Well, right, but it's more than that, Adam. It's almost like the warder bond where they now have a strange
Yeah.
sense
yeah.
of like,
Well,
Yeah.
it's not. It is just
It is,
like
yeah.
it. It's the
It
same
is
thing.
that, yeah.
yeah,
It's the same thing.
but
Yeah.
different.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
That's gonna be very strange in the
Right.
terms of their relationship.
Well, it's going to be
with
very
Rand.
strange considering one of them actually does have a warder.
Well, right,
So-
and not only that, if she
Yep.
wants to bond Rand as her warder,
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come
Oh,
to it.
no,
That's
I'm
even
thinking
more
about
fun.
this.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
that's
yeah,
been- yeah.
it multiplies the,
leading
For
the
Avienda.
screwiness of it. Yeah.
so anyhow, that shook my willow.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And Dave said it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
How
I
many
mean, the
times has he said
fantastic
that?
thing
I
is
would like to know.
is Egwene sneaking sweets because we've had no
Apparently-
references. We've had no references to the fact that
No.
that she's gained any weight whatsoever. But she
No, I
does.
think
She
it's
does have a
working.
sweet tooth. We know she has a sweet tooth.
I think it's working for her.
And not only
She's
that,
just-
apparently she's not really sneaking him so well because
Well, this is a
Avienda
person
can
who's
witness it.
around her a lot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's a weird thing. I mean, whatever. It's a desert person. Avienda. They don't have sweets.
no, they probably have little bugs that are sweet that they eat.
Yeah, I think that's just protein though.
Well, you can. I mean, sweets are carbohydrates. simple carbohydrates. But I mean, if you want to describe things in terms of like what the molecular strand is,
No, I think if you ate,
Yes.
I think
Well,
if
why
you ate
don't
a
you
beetle,
cry about it? Saddlebags.
I think if you ate a beetle, here I'm gonna put a thumbs up here. I think look, mine
I'm not getting it.
thing doesn't do it. Yeah,
Yours isn't cool enough.
if you ate a beetle, it would be more healthy for you than
You don't
eating
know that.
sweets.
There might be some
I do
beetles out
know
there
that.
that have a lot of fat in
what
them
if
and
they're
are
coated
bad
in
for
chocolate?
you. Why? Yeah.
Beetles with fat in them.
Sure.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting. You've
Eric.
never seen a fat
Interesting.
beetle.
Eric's seen them.
No, I have.
It was during
I've
this
seen them in,
thunderstorm
like,
thing that you've never
I've
seen.
seen them in
Thundersnow.
Pixar movies. Or
Right.
like-
Yeah, exactly. Those are fictitious, though. I'm talking about real fat beetles.
Right, the real fat beetles. They're the ones
Well,
that they
caterpillars
didn't fit
and
onto the
slugs.
photo. They
That's
didn't-
my
Caterpillars and
That's my
slugs. which
next
seems like you're
children's
talking
song,
about.
The Fat
Caterpillars,
Beetle.
Slugs. Stop giving me thumbs up. I am gonna punch you.
They were too big for Abbey Road, so they didn't fit in the photo.
The fat beetle
fat
named
beetles.
Marvin.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, right, exactly. They couldn't.
I'm sorry, Jen, you have to get off the picture. You're too fat. Them fat beetles, we can't keep them in here.
Ringo couldn't walk through the front door because he was too fat.
He was a fat beetle.
That was pretty good.
He's a fat beetle.
All right, on to tower play. Speaking of
Oh,
fat
boy.
beetles,
Speaking of fat beetles
what a
and tower play.
segue that was.
Pretty
so we talked about there are now rats in the tower. There shouldn't be rats in the tower. We know they're spies for the dark friend or for dark ones, but they're rats in the tower. But you know what? That's all right because we've already seen a Murdroll in the tower a book ago.
Not only that, there's apparently
See,
one of the
you
Forsaken
know how I
running
asked
around.
about the kitchens before?
You're worried
The
that the
kitchens aren't no
Murdroll's in the
good.
kitchen?
No.
No, they
if
got
there
rats.
are rats there, kitchens ain't no good. They're not getting rid of their
Adam,
trash.
Adam, the rats are in the cellar.
Filthy animals, they care. Well, they're probably everywhere now.
You
That's
need to take care of the cellar.
That's
Yeah.
an Aerosmith song and a phrase.
Well, pardon me for not knowing an Aerosmith song.
You know what the
Not a
rats are
fan.
doing? They're going round and round.
Well, I can deal with that.
Okay.
Oh wait, are they caught up like a what is that called? That king rat?
A rat king?
A rat? Is it a rat king?
Yes, it's a rat king, Adam.
The gun
rat
from
king.
The
Destiny
king
2?
rat? Yeah, it's a rat king. So there are rats everywhere in this white tower. You'd think you'd easily be able to spot a rat in the white tower.
I mean, they've spotted Elida.
I'm assuming not all the floors are actually
Elida's a
white
rat.
granite, but still. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That's rough.
Yeah, it's not good.
So
They
there's
climb
that
everywhere.
problem.
You would see poop. You would see the
You
poop.
should see.
And
Well,
smell it.
yeah, not in the cellar though, because not many people go down there,
Yeah, true.
as is evidenced by the fact that they are having.
I feel
a
like
torture.
there are a lot of places.
They're torturing
yeah,
women
I feel
down here,
like
and no one knows.
Someone's screaming
like
in the
there-
cellars.
There are a lot of places in the tower that people don't go to. They keep
Well, the
discovering
place is
things
huge.
there. Yeah.
Yep.
That
So
bridge,
it's like
though.
the second cellar.
Yeah,
How
it's
many
huge.
are there?
It's huge. It's like a city unto itself.
Yeah.
Speaking of torturing people down there, would they now have assurances that the Black Aja exists and are in the tower, and that means that any sister, other than those that have resworn the oath rod, could be Black Aja.
Could be under suspicion.
I feel like they don't.
That's why
even
that
believe it.
one of them was like,
Everyone in the tower, other than these women in this room,
they can't trust
are
anyone.
now right.
Yeah.
That's awful.
That's which is why that one sister suggested kidnapping everyone and testing everyone.
Right.
Which
They're gonna have to.
you're almost not far off from that.
No. They're gonna have to do that.
I don't know if they're gonna have time, but yeah, I mean,
There's only
I
about
don't.
300 women.
That's a lot to kidnap. I
don't think they're gonna kid. I think some of these
They're
women may have come
swamped.
forward voluntarily. I don't think they have to kidnap all of them, Adam.
Dave, what is it? I got Gilda to blame. I got Gilda to blame.
I got right. I got a
No,
wedding to plan.
I gotta kill my
I've got a
bride.
wedding to plan. I've
Gilda
got
to frame.
Gilda to flame, and you
Not
and
to flame,
somebody
to
to blame for it. I'm swamped.
Frankly, I'm swamped.
Y'all did not get it. That's sad.
I got it.
51
Here's
loyalists. Oh wait, go ahead.
Once again, I'm striking on Dave's theme for these books. So now we got this new faction here.
Bum, bum,
I-
bum.
Am I
Dave's
supposed to like
themes.
them?
Dave's themes for these books.
Am I not supposed?
Why?
I think we do like them.
Well,
I think
here, but what I mean by
because
that is
they've captured a Black Aja.
okay.
I mean,
That
big deal.
notwithstanding,
Big deal.
I can't. it is anathema to me to like anybody that supports Elida for whatever reason it is. Whatever your reason, it's not good enough for Dave. I'm sorry.
How long have you been holding on to that for?
Every time I hear her name.
Anathema?
Anathema.
Yeah, how long have you been holding on that one for?
Just now.
Just a now. Just a then.
So
I'm
A
disappointed.
now and then a later.
I'm going to need more to like these people than just capturing that. Because meanwhile, I don't like them for discovering the sisters fomenting dissension in there. Adam, I'm throwing all sorts of words at you here. I hope you're
He's
fomenting.
anathema and fomenting.
I
Right.
love fomenting.
I think
Menting foe.
it's
Foam it up.
it is
Foam it up.
foam it up. Part of me wants to like them because they're doing. I hope once again. I'm hoping this is. I need a different redemption arc for them. I need a redemption arc for them to
I
turn
don't
against
think you're gonna
Elida.
get it. Oh, well, I think that's going to happen.
I don't know because they're so stuck on Tower Law as their be all end all, and they can't
Sure.
see past that to the moral standpoint of but what we're doing is wrong.
Yeah, but we're starting to see cracks in this where there were never cracks before. So
And rats, cracks
Yep.
and rats.
yep, rats hiding in cracks.
Yeah, probably.
Rats is never good.
No.
51 loyalist Aes Sedai have been captured by the Ashaman. 51. How many channeling women are
Wow.
there in the tower? Didn't we say there were 300?
Not even tower.
You
Tower
did.
a whole, I think, was 400 some. So not just in the tower, but
That's a
Yep.
lot that the
Yeah.
Black Tower now
you've
has.
literally gotten like
Sure
a
is.
sixth, or
That's
you know,
a
like,
huge
10, 9.
percentage of
But
the
yes.
Aes Sedai
Yeah,
that are captured.
Yeah.
Then you've got
and the
I mean,
tower
there
doesn't
aren't
know
many
yet.
women in the tower anymore.
The tower doesn't even know. Only Elida
Well,
now.
Elida
the Iron
knows.
No, this is what
Right.
I was asking about before. I don't get it. What is the tower?
Right. Yeah. It's
just a
it's a
it's
lie. Elida's been
it's a
arguing with the
hellhole of
same
Elida.
13 women for the last year.
Yeah.
It's Elida and 12 other women.
that's what it seems like.
Yeah, it's it. Their numbers are
Yeah,
And
there
meanwhile,
are not many women in the tower there.
They are dwindling.
Now keep in mind
The numbers
that
do
we
be
talked
dwindling,
about the
says
tower
Dan
being a
Coleman.
city. There are more people in the tower than just the Aes Sedai. There is the guards,
Right.
the servants. They probably vastly outnumber the actual Aes Sedai.
for sure. But one Aes Sedai can
But they
handle.
do
Yeah.
be dwindling.
Oh,
50.
sure. Yeah.
These are-
Can they?
Yeah, I'm not
Depending on their
suggesting that the
strength.
servants rise up and rebel against the Aes Sedai.
Rise, rebound.
I'm just saying.
So do you
As
think
far
it's
as
just a
numbers
bunch
go.
of reds then?
No.
Well, there aren't any blues.
There's
we
no
know
blues.
that.
The blues aren't there.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's any more reds
The
than
browns
it is
are
any of
just
the
sticking
other.
around. They're like,
The browns'
Well, yeah,
noses
because
are
the
research
library
this.
is there.
Right. The Browns.
And they
noses
don't
are
care. They
research
don't. Yeah, they're
this.
not paying attention to what's going on now. They're researching what's happened then.
The whites are going.
They might
We
be.
probably
They might be
shouldn't
a
do this. It's
Twitter in
illogical.
about it.
Yeah.
They might be happy that this is something new to read about
Right. Seriously.
in
Let me
research.
jot this down on my paper and
Well,
legible.
I guarantee you what they're trying to do is figure out if there was ever a time in the tower history that was like this.
Sure.
And probably researching, the history of the Dragon Reborn or the Dragon, and seeing how chaotic
About
things were
time.
during that age.
It's probably pretty nice.
It's surreal for Tovann to see total normalcy surrounding the men that she's been hunting all her life under the auspices that
Yeah.
they destroyed everything they touch.
That's the
So
problem
this
with
is
the Reds.
but this is another one of those touch points in this book that undermines some of the things that these people have taken for granted as part of their current age.
They'd be stupid.
Well, when you think about it, I mean, the man who can channel from everything that we've read to this point
Not to be confused
occurs
with a man from
out
Liberty
in the
Valance.
wilderness. Well, he's out in the wilderness. He's all alone. He doesn't have a group around him or anything. And then then these Red Aja swoop in and capture him all, and away he goes, and you never hear about him. So
And they just say, "Trust me, trust me."
nobody has a lot of interaction with men who can channel, and probably honestly the number of women who are going out and hunting these men, it's probably the same women over and over again. So you probably have a whole ton of Red Aja who have never seen a man who could channel and only read about them in books
'Cause there's only been
written
so many.
by the Red Aja.
Yeah.
So she's finally getting some exposure, and some of her bigotry might be starting to erode.
Cracks.
Here. Yeah.
Cracks and rats.
Cracks in the
So-
merchandise.
There's a lot of the tower
Officer, I saw the whole thing.
the tower is crumbling. Let's hope it's still standing by the time Egwene gets there.
Taim Egwene gets there.
Yes.
Hmm.
So
That's a lot of do I like these people? And I don't
know,
like
that's
a
why
lot of
it's-
these people. I know. I don't like them.
It's becoming this thing with
you
me where
don't
it's-
you don't find yourself sympathizing with them during these moments, Adam?
Not really.
I feel like I have to.
because-
And I don't like the fact
No.
that I have to.
Well, you don't. Yeah. You don't.
I'm just tainted by the fact I don't feel like sure they got an answer out of this torture, but I don't trust torture for an answer. So
Hmm.
there might be a way that this person can sneak out of this.
Well, I think the difference
Well,
Bonds
again is
that they
remember, she now this is an Aes Sedai who's re-sworn on the oath rod and has to tell the truth. This
No,
isn't
I
a
know,
normal
but this
torture.
but this
She
oath
can't
rod
lie.
seems I know, but this oath rod seems a little not as powerful as it once used to be.
well, I
I
think we
feel.
certainly have questions
So
surrounding
first of
it.
all, it's not this oath rod. It's always been the same oath rod.
I know.
The oath rod hasn't changed, unless you're thinking
I
that the
feel like
power
the
that's
oath
in
rod
it is
has changed
slowly
a bit.
depleting over the ages, and it just doesn't have the same amount of electricity in it that it used to. It's like
I don't know. They're
it's like a
using it in
toy that
different
you were
ways.
raised with that you're now trying to give to your child, and you're looking at it going, this toy doesn't look all that hot compared to the things that are coming out these days.
Sure, you can say what you want, but I do feel like it's not. I feel like it's being passed around in a way that we have not seen before, right?
Oh, it's certainly being used in a way we haven't seen before, but I mean, we
Yeah.
don't know of we've never had an age where it's feasible that the Black Aja could take over the White Tower.
I just don't know if it was the best way to go about this.
Oh.
By
I don't know that
That's all
torture
I'm
is
saying.
Yeah, I would agree.
yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
think that the torture was the best way to go about this.
I had no issues with it.
I know you didn't.
Right,
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
I
Stick
don't-
that shank in there and twist it around.
Right. Keep the waterboarding going. It'll work eventually.
You will get an answer.
Does anybody think at this point that she is going to get any closer to uncovering
I think by accident, yes.
Do you think that this information is actually going to be
Alviarin.
passed on to
Alviarin?
Elida, though?
Yes, Alviarin.
Yeah. Oh, no, they're absolutely going to pass this along.
To
Oh,
Elida?
okay.
They've been given a command. They will absolutely pass it along.
I'm not so sure now because remember the
I'm wondering
specter of
about
Elida being Black Aja has now been floated.
You realize that
So-
one of them is a devout red, Pavarin.
Yeah, but even she is
She
been
was-
shocked
How can you
by
trust the
some of
Reds?
this.
Yeah, but she was wholeheartedly defending
Well, right,
Elida.
and she's
it's going to
right.
get reported.
She's right.
Now, it's going to get
We'll see.
reported, but what's going to happen with that is a whole different thing.
I
And
think it will be a while before it gets reported. I don't
I
think it's getting
agree.
reported right away. Let's move on to Drear Elayne. So apparently Brigitte and Dylan are arguing over everything now. These two women cannot get along. The two women who like Matt, one romantically and the other I was gonna say Socratically, but it's not Socratic. What's the type of love that isn't romantic?
Platonic.
Platonic, yes. Not Socrates, Plato. Sorry. That's
I mean, it could
the
be
struggle I
It
was
could
having.
be Socratic, I suppose.
No, it's not
They
Socratic.
could have. They could have.
It's
Socratic
Platonic.
love.
well,
No, I
mean,
know that's the answer, but
Also, it's
wish it
not.
weren't.
It's not just her. Egwene and her are also kind of at a little bit of a standstill because of this, or not Egwene, Elayne, and her are also a little bit of a standstill about her becoming captain of the guard. So I think this is all on Brigitte. Like this is all a her thing.
Yeah, but she and Egwene are going to resolve that. You get the sense that this thing with Dylan is not about ready to
I
be
sure
resolved.
hope so.
She does. Yeah, she does not want to be the top. She does not want to be in charge. She's having a major crisis of confidence.
Well, it's not.
is
I
what's
think it's
happening.
she's also just. It's yet another blow. It's another realization of this is your station in life now, as
Yep.
opposed to what you were.
Well, but she tells
Yep.
Elayne, look, I don't, people keep thinking that I'm going to do heroic things and I don't have it in me anymore. So don't put me in a position of authority
I
if
think
that's what
she's
you're
gonna be
expecting.
wrong about that.
Well, of course she's going to be
Well,
wrong. This is a story.
She is a hero.
right.
But I just
Heroes
don't
do
feel like she.
heroic
Yeah,
things.
but Yeah, it's Matt, but I don't.
Right.
It stinks for her. This
Yeah,
whole thing stinks.
Everything
so hard
stinks for Brigitte, really.
Yeah. It's
Elaine
awful.
wonders if
I love
Dylan
her.
is simply waiting for her to make a mistake so that
Right.
Dylan can more
Swoop in.
properly contrast her own competent claim to the throne. So
It's a natural thing to think. I'm not picking up on those vibes from her at all, but I mean,
No, I
that
don't
could be
think so
the ultimate
either.
game of Days Damar, I suppose.
But Elaine is now growing as suspicious as Rand.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
she and Rand now have this in common, where they see conspiracies around every corner, and that's
Maybe
what
that's
happens
rulers.
when you're trying to consolidate power. Like you're always worried that somebody else is plotting against you. We get another voicing of one of the book's major themes through Brigitte. And I think I just said this, where she says, "Oh, burn me, Elaine. You can't mean I'm an archer, not a general. That's all I've ever been. Don't you understand yet?
I'm
I
a
just
cookie,
did
not a
what I
boy."
had to do. What circumstances forced on me?" So this is that whole idea that Jordan continues to hammer away at in these books, where like heroic deeds occur, as a necessity of the moment. They don't occur because people are heroic.
I like my statement better. Heroes do heroic things.
Right, that's sort of
True.
the anti of what Jordan's theme is. Yes,
It happened. They're not seeking to do heroic things half the time. It just happens because of who they are.
Right, and her
Kavir.
Character drives it.
and Jordan is writing this
And the
book
wheel.
to try to
wheel.
show that that's not what happens. That these, though, I will still say that you still have to have it in you to rise to the moment.
Right. And make a decision. There's people who are in the moment that don't see.
Right, that vacillate. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
This magic moment.
Right, exactly.
Renee,
Oh, mother's milk in a cup.
Renee,
My new
gross.
favorite swear word.
Renee Harfor indicates there is a plague of rats in the royal palace, which we already talked about.
No, we talked about them in the tower.
Oh, right. So now there are rats. So there are rats in all of the major places, basically. There are tons of rats now in Camelin as well. So
Saying something.
I mean,
The seals are weakening.
right. That's what it feels like. Is like we're getting, we have the emergence of Shaidar Haran. We have the emergence of Moradin. These other major sources of evil from the Dark One are suddenly appearing. There are more rats in places that they've never been before.
We obviously don't have enough Halloween keeping the 7 seals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the 7 seals are cracked. And that's funny that you mentioned that, because this book begins with a reference to Revelation, where it talks about
The bulls.
the Black Rider and famine.
Pale horse and
Famine coming in. Elaine thinks to herself that there are methods of interfering with a man channeling besides shielding. I wonder if it involves kissing them.
I mean, she seems to be good at that.
Stop giving me thumbs up. Oh my
I saw it. I saw the thumbs up.
But he didn't even
Move
do
your
a
thumb,
thumbs up.
bud.
No,
Oh,
dude.
It's the way you're holding
Yes,
it.
I know why
That's
it is.
what it is.
Yes, I know
All
why
right,
it's
all
happening.
right.
Adam and I
I'm not
discovered
gonna
why it's
stop.
happening.
I'm not gonna stop mentioning it.
The first sister ceremony is incredible
that's
in its ability to give the reader
mechanic.
the sense of what the participants are going through. I
Thump,
mean,
thump.
the imagery
Thump, thump.
in that whole segment is. I mean, there are a lot of people who have complaints about it, because some people feel that it's
What?
misogynistic.
What?
And some
People will
of
complain about anything.
well, I mean, the women are the only ones who have naked ceremonies in these books. That being said,
I do understand. People having a problem with that.
I understand it.
You know
Yeah,
what?
I understand it.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's female positivity that only the females are comfortable being naked and the men aren't. So
I'm gonna
stick
go
that
out
in
on
your
a limb
ass.
and say I'm not a female. And
Okay. Thanks for just in case. Now
just in
everyone
case y'all
knows,
don't
Adam.
know,
The
I'm
word
not a
is
female,
out.
so I can't really speak to that. I can't really speak to that side of it. But
There's no
I
body
think
shaming
that my
going on
wife-
amongst these women. They're all perfectly
No, there's
comfortable
no shame. There's no shame in it whatsoever.
in the game.
There should. I just want a couple more like Perrin and Rand and Matt running around in a field naked together.
That's a different book entirely.
I don't need any more of that.
Yes.
I don't need any of that, actually.
I do. I need
not
some of
more
it.
because there isn't any to begin with, and that's probably
just
why
saying,
I've
I need
actually
some of
read
it.
all these. Why I'm enjoying reading these books.
Wow. Okay.
But we can get Randy at this point. That's a great placement for that.
Yes.
So, when thinking about the purpose of the academy, Rand hears Lews Theron say, "I was wrong. We are not builders, not you or I or the other one. We are destroyers. Destroyers!"
I think they
The
are.
other one?
That's that. I think that's that head that he keeps seeing.
Oh gosh.
You think it's Max Headroom?
Well, yes, or otherwise known as this
Amazing.
vision of this head that he keeps seeing. Whoever
what a
that
crazy
is.
thing.
Interesting.
Yeah,
this is
whoever
the
that is.
Princess Leia moment in these books, where Luke all of a
What?
sudden discovers that there's another.
There is another.
It's gonna be Moiraine.
It was.
Right.
Was there like an
Yes,
epic
exactly.
drop in a
Or
movie
Nynaeve.
series quite like that moment that left you just going, "Oh, what?"
Oh, I didn't go. Oh,
I'm
what?
sure there were
I
a
went.
bunch.
Are you kidding me?
You weren't old enough to be going, "Oh, are you kidding me?"
Oh yeah,
And
I
what?
didn't. I did not enjoy that idea. I'd
what?
had enough already with the Luke, I'm your father thing. That now Princess Leia is also a Jedi was just a bridge too far for me.
I didn't
Dave
think it was
Eric?
Princess Leia at that point.
Dave, Eric was a heady boy.
Right, apparently. When he was seeing
No,
these
it's
thunder
just my
lightning
emotional
storm things.
reaction to it. Plus, I didn't. Well,
Your emotional reaction at age 9 or 10.
no. I mean that.
Yes, that was Empire, which was 81.
Yeah, age 10, sure. You know what it was? As a child, I didn't want anybody else stealing Luke's thunder. That's really what it came down to. It wasn't that I
already
felt
done
like
by the stupid
I didn't feel
Ewoks.
like it was a redundant plot
gosh,
point. If
the
that's where you were
Ewoks.
going,
I loved the Ewoks though. I was a child.
I love the
so-
stormtrooper things.
So
that
there's
were fighting
there's
the
another
Ewoks.
Oh,
what?
heck yeah.
Another dragon? Another
Crimson Guard though.
Another Crimson Guard?
For sure.
I didn't even know they were in these books.
No, guess who it probably is?
Who?
That guy that is
Moradin.
Morden.
That's who David said.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's
Yeah.
Moradin?
No, I didn't say it was Morden.
Oh, who did you say it was?
I didn't say it was anyone, but I'm wondering if it's that guy who is the guy that helped Rand out.
Oh, the guy
in
that helped
Shinar
Rand out
Logan.
and Shinar Logan. We don't know who that dude
Oh.
is. He's
I
like
think it's that
he's
guy.
like the stranger in Destiny.
Whoa.
Right.
He appears, helps out, and then disappears for a
For like
year.
10 years.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden reappears as Elsie's sister. Yeah. Or it is Elsie. It's what's her face's sister.
Oh,
yeah.
interesting.
I mean, it could be that guy. It could be Morden. I don't know.
Why do you think it's Moradin, Adam?
I don't know. He's just really powerful, and it would make sense.
From
just to throw him
descriptions,
in
He's
there.
really powerful.
From descriptions, he's kind of like Rand.
What if it's
I don't
Height,
remember
build.
that.
Yeah.
Pot?
Oh,
What if
okay,
it's Pot
sure.
and Fane?
Oh my gosh.
I don't think it's Pod
I
and
would
Fane.
throw this book out the window.
Pod and Fane is not isn't apocrypha. He's his own thing. He's just a rogue agent.
Yeah. So
He's
who
evil
are you
turned amongst
thinking it would?
itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea.
have no
This
idea
is
either.
this came out of nowhere. That was another one of those double takes that
Yeah.
I had
But
to
we
do
have
while
to keep.
reading.
We've been wondering who
spit
this
take.
head is that we're seeing that Rand is getting this constant vision of this other thing, this other person, this other
Yeah.
entity. So I guess it makes sense that this is tying into. I think it makes sense that this is tying into who that is.
So there's another head in
Well,
Rand's head.
well, we've seen.
I mean,
it. He's
could
Right,
seen
it
yes,
this,
be-
yes.
the superimposed
Wait.
image.
Right, but I was thinking there was a possibility that was Lews Theron because he's never seen Lews Theron's face. He's
Could
only
it
heard
be?
his voice.
Could it be Taim?
I think that just got debunked at this point. Now then,
Why?
I think that's what Theron. Because if Theron's seeing it too, and he's not going to see himself, and he already knows Rand, so it's this other thing. Whatever this thing is.
Lews Theron does not say this in reaction to seeing the head. He says this in reaction to Rand's plans for
Right.
the
I think
academy.
I think Theron has a little bit more awareness than Rand does. Why that is, I don't know, but I feel like he does. I think he's bringing into light what we've all been seeing, what Rand has been seeing, is actually putting a.
You're trusting him now?
I think you're drawing a connection. You're drawing a connection that's not suggested here. I don't think that makes it untrue.
Right.
But all this is just Lews Theron's reaction to Rand's thoughts of preparing for a world after
the end,
this cataclysm that he's heading to,
which he's not doing well.
No. Raising a couple of universities is not enough.
I don't have an issue with that. I have an issue with not paying attention to the most important thing that's going on in the world, probably right under your nose that you created, and you're just letting it fester.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a good thing.
Yep. Probably should get back there at some point.
Sticking a guy who's insanely jealous,
to be
in charge
fair,
of a whole bunch
Rand
of powerful
would tell
stuff.
I think Rand would tell you he's aware it's dangerous, but I don't know if he's aware of exactly how dangerous.
Yeah, Rand getting a
let's just give it
thought
no
across.
oversight except overseen by a guy who is completely untrustworthy. Sounds like a plan.
Yep.
We finally get some impressions of what Rhydian is like now, because Rand has recently had Min
Post
there.
the flood.
He must have been getting that weird terangrial with the woman holding the globe from there.
Well, he got it. It was there before, so he must have gone back and got
It was a big one.
Yeah, but there's a huge
Gonna
lake
be
there now and a growing
ones.
city. So
Dave. That's my humor.
That's my humor.
the Aiel now are
Resettling?
gathering in greater numbers in Rhydian. I mean, I suppose if there's water there, you'd be a fool not to. Except they seem to like the difficult way.
So
They're
I
scared
wonder,
of water. What are
is
you
this
talking
now
about?
like? They're now getting acclimated. I wonder if this is like, kind of like the. So that there was the portion of the Aiel that had to go every year to Rhydian, to the leaders, and now they can't because it's flooded.
Right.
So, and I don't think you can pass through the
water
arches, if you will,
Well,
like Rand had to do.
shouldn't you
Well,
be
right.
able to,
Some of them got
though?
destroyed.
Right. So
I mean,
it's just
isn't
like the
that
Red
just
Hydra
another
now, where
boundary
those
to
people
overcome?
the clan leaders no longer. How are they going to pick a clan leader anymore?
I don't.
The truth is out there, which is one of the whole points of walking through the arches.
Right, but remember that we have Savannah, who is constantly hoping for some way to either marry, or we know now that that's not one of her desires whatsoever. But
Well, she should try to go through herself then.
She's a woman.
She's leading under the auspices that it's still possible for her to marry a clan leader and become a roof
she's
mistress.
gone through two already,
And it's not like there can't be any more. There can't be any more clan leaders because this doesn't work.
So what happens to their
Who knows if
society
there are?
now?
Right. That's a good question, and they have not even dealt with this reality yet, because I don't think they're all aware of it.
They're
but
all
you would
at
think
war.
that the ones that are living there would be
That's
aware
and
of
that's
the
the
fact
point
that
I was
it's
trying to make. So
destroyed.
you got these people settling there now. Maybe they're going to form some new sort of sect
Society, sure.
within the Aiel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they already have.
I mean, we know they came from the Gen who were peaceful, so maybe they're going to go back to that way.
No, they didn't seem too keen on that.
No, I'm sure not.
No,
But they're
were
being forced to now.
bloodthirsty.
Rhydian doesn't exist. You can't make clan chiefs. Something's going to have to happen.
It does exist though. Maybe there are swimmers there that can go
No,
underwater.
Yeah, they're going to get their scuba gear on.
Yeah, but they can't go through
knows?
those. They can't
They
go
who
through
are
those
scared of
Ongrial
water.
now that show the past.
Right.
Like that whole. There was
Yeah.
that storm that got whipped up as Rand and Matt left. That,
yeah, and
I
also
don't know.
when
It seems
Rand
pretty
went
big.
back
There
and
might be
battled
something
there.
else there.
Right. Right. Yes.
Interesting.
So one of the other things that Rand learned while he was there, or that what Rand did while he was there, is he's starting to, in addition to drawing attention to himself by being there, Rand is trying to learn anything he can about Shara. So now he's asking the Aiel, who are the only people he knows who have any experience with Shara.
Wasn't that part of his subterfuge?
He's trying to learn about Shara.
I think it's part of the leading the trail, the false trail.
So it could be, but also this is the interesting thing about this story, is it's a story of this continent, but it's told in epical terms. It's told as if it affects the whole world. And we know that there
We
are
never
other
hear
parts
about-
of this
right.
world that we don't have exposure to.
Where the crystal throne is, and yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But even that, like, we're going to get exposure to, because the Shan-Chan are now invading, and they're going to bring
Yep.
that society over, even if they can't, like, bring the geographic location.
It's like the elfin world in the beyond that you just don't know about.
Right. So it's it would make sense that Rand would want to know something of these people. It reminds me of Lord of the Rings, where they talk about the Wildmen for lot of the Return of the King, and you know that these men are out there who support not Morgoth but Sauron.
Yeah.
But you never see them, you never witness their society, but there they are at the war at the end.
Yeah.
And so these people in Shara, or this world of Shara, still may have something to contribute to this story, even if it's tangentially.
The way these
he's so
these
slow
books
on
seem
the
to
uptake,
work.
though.
Yeah, it's never good. It's never anything good when some new peoples come into this book series.
Yeah, he took
The
forever to
Shan-Chan,
meet with the. He took
not good.
forever to meet with the sea
Sharans,
folk.
The
probably not
Aiel.
good.
Aiel was okay.
They were
Aiel,
there,
yeah.
but the Aiel were there. We
But remember when the book first started, when we first started reading, they were just like something out in the wild in a place that we hadn't even had
but
exposure
we'd
to.
heard about
Oh,
we
but
heard
he
about
be
the
a
Aiel
child
War.
then, Eric. He
Yeah.
be a child.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
Adam, who was your Coplin of the week?
Coplin.
My Coplin of the week is just the sisters that did the torture. I think that
Adam has a problem with torture.
them as a whole,
Sounds
I just
terrible.
don't.
I don't have a problem with torture.
I just
Adam
don't think it's the. I don't think it's the right way to go about it in founding a situation where you're trying to seek out other bad folk if
Adam
you're
wants pillow
actually
talk.
using. I do. I want pillow talk.
Yeah, he wants hugs and smooches.
Well, there's
cuddling.
something
But
to
I
be
mean-
said
I
for
mean,
not
the- yeah,
engaging in
sorry.
the same methods that your enemy
Yeah.
uses.
Exactly, your enemy. But I mean, Elida is just always the answer, right?
I'll tell you what, they're not using the same methods because look what happened to poor what's her face, the sister there with the twin,
What's her face?
the sister who got murdered, with the stake driven through her heart or whatever.
Right. Whose other sister is now wandering
Yeah.
the halls
Oh,
looking for her.
Van Dien.
Yeah, Adelius.
Yes,
Van Dien's
Adelius and
sister
Van Dien.
died.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the methods aren't quite the same.
Kudos to you for coming up with Van Dien, by the way, Adam. Look at you.
That was me, but that's besides the point.
I love. No, I said
Adam
Van
said
Dien.
Van Dien first.
But
Oh,
that's because I
said
love Van
Adelius.
Dien.
Yeah,
Well, you said the name of actually the person that got killed.
right,
So
the
that's, there
murdered
you go.
soul.
That's way better than what I said.
It's their sister, so we're all good.
Because I'm like Van.
It's okay.
Dien.
So you don't like the all of them.
No,
No.
because some of them are less thrilled with this than others are. So
Well, Adam just kind of lumped them together. is what I'm
Ciane
saying.
is the
I'm
one
lumping
who
them
originally
together.
starts all this, and she is not a fan of the torture whatsoever. Like, she is not happy
Just
with
going along.
There's
with
really
it.
only two of them that are just stoically fine with it.
The reason I'm lumping them together is because there's no way that this can be sustainable.
No.
Something's gonna be.
They're
You're
not gonna,
talking about
Without-
crap.
no,
no, they're
without
not
getting
gonna.
found
They're not
out.
gonna torture people, endlessly.
And
anyway.
realize the only reason they tortured this woman was because of the shadiness of how it all happened.
Yeah, but that's
Right,
a
yes.
that's a broad.
They stumbled
broad,
upon this.
broad-
So now I don't think now they will need to.
No, I don't know.
no,
they.
you
I
just
don't
do
think they
not
will need
stop.
to either.
I bet they will keep doing.
Adam
No,
thinks
because
it's an addiction. for these
so
people.
remember, and this is important that
No,
we bring this
I
up.
think it's an easy way to. Sorry, go ahead,
Didn't
Eric.
seem very
The
easy.
reason why they are what leads them to having to torture her is the fact that nobody will believe that the Black Aja actually exists. So they have to force her to say it so that the other women standing around can actually hear it and go,
Hey,
"Oh,
that
this thing that I've
elephant
been
in the room
denying
is
to
correct."
myself
She was
all
not
this
the-
time is actually real."
Am I wrong? She was not the only one that was put through this, though. Correct?
You are wrong.
You are wrong.
No, she's the only one that was put through
Yes.
this.
Yes.
It's just one scene.
So
it's just
they
one
were
woman.
lucky.
It was
that it was the
Machiavellian.
first person that they chose.
No.
No, she was just
Remember-
one of the sisters who they were called down to investigate.
Yeah, remember Tovain
Sure.
originally just brings her down and is like, "Hey,
Yeah.
here's the oath rod. So we're going to have you do this crazy thing. But don't worry, my friend and I here have already gone through it. We're going to have you forswear these oaths, and then you're going to re-swear them." And she's like, no, I'm not. And they're like, "What do you mean you're not? This is not a big deal.
Yeah,
Just do
yeah,
it." And
yeah.
she's like, "No, I'm not." And they're like, what?
You seem a little suspicious.
And then
I don't think that's
they figure out
opinion.
what's going on with her, and then they bring the other sitters to see it, and the sitters refuse to believe that she's Black Aja. They just deny it because they deny that Black Aja could even be a thing. Yeah. And so they have to torture her to get it out of her.
They didn't bring the other ones in.
That's how
the
that
ones
happens.
Are already there. They all
No. They have to bring them there. They're not all there.
You don't think that is going to happen again?
I don't
feel
think
like
it
that might
has to.
happen again.
Because
now they know that the Black Aja exists, so she doesn't have to prove to these
the minute
ignorant
someone
women.
starts denying
I'll be
it.
surprised if it does not happen again. That's all I'm saying.
Because moving forward, all they have to do is now run into a scenario where somebody's not willing to forswear the oaths and go, okay, well, this person is obviously a dark friend.
Right. Yeah, they don't need to torture him anymore. It's just going to be like,
I agree. It's a little bit of McCarthyism
a
at this point because the whole thing is this is funny. It's turned into a giant witch hunt, but but
the witches are real.
But yeah, the witches are real.
Sure.
And that's the thing about a witch hunt is they're not all witches.
In control. They do They.
I'm not a witch. I'm not a witch.
Witches.
Yes. So that is my Coplin of the week was the chair of remorse. You went with the women. I went with the chair.
Yeah, the chair's gross.
I love that
That's
chair.
a great choice.
Why does the chair of remorse exist?
For thieves. They say that's very
you need
specifically.
You're right. They do say why.
To
it
gain
is.
information,
Do
Eric,
thieves need to be punished this harshly?
The thieves
what are
never
the thieves
come back.
Stealing? No, they don't.
Because they're mortified.
They're stealing information.
What are the thieves stealing? What do thieves steal?
Well, thieves can
Apples,
steal. Thieves can
rain,
steal
very small
anything
rocks.
from your bread to your life savings. Those are two radically different things.
I mean,
or daisies.
Punishing them both the same way.
I have a feeling, but it isn't punishing them the same way. Remember, that chair can do different things.
That's true.
I stole a loaf of bread,
but it is called the chair of remorse. It's a very
they're instilling remorse into you for the action of your crime. So I have a feeling that the level of remorse that is instilled matches the crime that the person committed. I would hope.
Dave is leveling out his political propaganda in this.
Yes, well,
episode. Right. Who was your Coplin Ganda of the week?
Oh, it's the pervy Taim.
Mazrim Taim.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He saunters in like he owns the place. He could
obviously,
as we know,
he could be the Coplin of any week.
The more we're finding, well, he has to be in the episode for that to be the case.
Yes.
But the more we're finding out about him, the more we're convinced he is a dark one or dark friend or something more.
Or just
the only thing that's more is Pod and Fane.
No,
well, no. The only thing that more would be a Dreadlord
or Elida.
Nope.
But I mean, those are still dark friends. They're just different levels of dark friends, which is what you're saying. He is. He would be a high level dark friend,
or he could become a Dreadlord. Yes.
Yep.
So that's because I don't even need to go into further explanation. He is staring at poor Elayne's butt and not trying to hide it.
Yeah. He's
a creep.
He enjoys being a ruler and he abuses his power.
Yeah.
Who leveled up, Dave?
I'm going with a deep cut here, boys. I'm going with Dobrain. Dobrain. And I'll tell you why.
Baby.
Dobrain has been acting in Rand and soon to be Elayne if she ever takes over. Camelin, she can have the Sun Throne as well. He's been acting in her stead and Rand's stead this whole time, just doing what he's told, going along, and then he gets socked with the fact that Rand tells him, "You're not going to get the throne," and he's like, "Okay,
yeah, sure, yeah."
He just that is a man with he's got
priorities,
and not only that, just good enough character to just be able to take a slap in the face and take it for the team. And that's impressive to me. It's not a subservient thing. It's just a knowing what you bring to the table and being comfortable with not getting the reward that sometimes people deserve for doing what they do.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think it's reasonable to think that he had expectations of becoming a king, hanging around Rand.
Yep. Everyone else is getting rewarded.
Right. And
how was Perrin?
But he also probably,
ended up
some
the king
of that
city.
some of that
Kind of
is
sit.
also, the recognition that Elayne probably has a stronger claim to the Sun Throne than he does also.
100%.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
oh, by the way, she's Rand's girlfriend. So there's that.
Yeah, I think I would be a little bit more PO'd if that was the reasoning
If that was the only
than
reason,
if
yes.
she had a better claim.
She legitimately has a line to the throne. Yes.
Yeah.
Who
is still alive?
My who leveled up for me is the tower. They're finally
Which one?
starting the Tower 1.
Okay.
Tower 1. Wow.
I mean, you could level up. You can throw in that leveling up the Black Tower 2 in that also.
Yes, but I'm not leveling up the Black Tower. I'm pooping on the Black Tower. No, they realize that there are Black Aja in their midst, even though there are also rats in their midst. There are the Black Aja are in their midst.
These rats.
They're starting to hopefully get a handle on that, and they're also realizing that Elida is bad. So those are hopefully those bode positively, and who knows, maybe there will be a coup from the inside before Egwene even gets there. Or maybe, though, I mean, they're gonna start looking for these other women that they've sent in there to undermine them, and who knows what they'll do to these poor women when they find them. Maybe they will torture them, Adam, and then you can complain about that.
Well,
I'm
I will.
Just kidding. Yes,
it shows up.
I will too.
I will.
So the White Tower levels up for
right.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Tawa 1.
Who you got, Adam?
Tower 1. Mazrim Taim.
Taim leveled up.
Copycat.
Oh yeah, he had to.
Wait, Taim leveled up?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me this one.
I got to hear this one.
Well, he had to because he comes kind of full throttle into what we've predicted him to be.
Yes, he has
And
reached
the power.
his.
Okay.
He has
And then
reached
the
his
level that
nadir.
he's got, and the level that he's
Sort of.
gotten to with how many folks are behind him.
He's
I
got
think
folks.
It's very scary.
They're multiplying.
It's something we've predicted. It's something we've predicted for a while, and now it seems like it's just there.
It's an
This
evil
is a water
leveling
balloon.
up.
This is like a Calvin and Hobbes water balloon that is going from little section to what are they called?
What called? Water
Calvin
balloons?
and Hobbes, the little sections that they're called. The
Comic
little-
strip.
The strip to strip, the water balloon strip to strip, and then
Right.
it's just gonna bash you in the face and be like, "Yep, you're right."
Now it's going to
Taim-
bash you in the face with a full-page cartoon.
Taim is
It's that bucket above the
Taim is
doorway.
the guy you thought Taim was. And
Yeah.
it seems
He
like,
is
I think
who we
They
thought
are
he
who
was.
we thought
Yep.
they were, and we
they
let
are
him
who
off
we
the
thought
hook.
they were. Yeah.
I hope no one lets him off the hook. I hope they put him on a hook.
So
And
we
hang him
it
above a
ain't gonna
Trolloc cook
happen.
pot and
So we
torture him. 'cause
start
that's what I'm
book
about.
9, Winter's Heart.
Yeah.
Join us for episode 25 when we cover chapters 1 through 6 of our new book, Winter's Heart. Until then, may you rest in the Creator's hand.
To viande se tovia again.
May you know good hunting, young bull, and cheese to give you many cubs.